Hello, my name's Joe and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the different types of light inside of Unreal Engine and how potentially you could use them. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to check out my website 3dassetlibrary.com for Unreal and Unity Engine assets. So inside of Unreal, over here we've got a tab called Lights, and we're going to be looking at directional, point, spot and rectangle. As I say, this is just a very quick look at the different types of lights for people that perhaps don't know the difference. So directional light is generally, when you create a new scene, you'll get one light that's named light source, and you can see it's a directional light. That's essentially your sort of overall scene lighting. I guess it's like the sun, you could see it like that. And as you can see here, as I'm moving it, it's casting these shadows. You've got these mobility. I think by default it's set to stationary. For a lot of my stuff I put it on movable. But a quick rundown of how I perceive the static basically gets baked down. When you hit build, this gets baked down, and you don't get shadows cast in real time. So for instance, imagine, I'll show you here, as I'm rotating this, imagine these shadows were in the game, and as you can see here, they're moving as they should be. Now, if we have static ticked and we were playing a game, when I was doing that, these shadows wouldn't appear, they wouldn't move. Stationary is a mix of the two, from what I understand, so you could potentially, say, have these shadows baked into a light map, but still have your character casting a shadow, and then movable is everything's real-time shadows. So, you could have these moving like this, the player running, a big ball swinging with casting a shadow, and all things like that. You've got your intensity. This is how bright the scene is, or how bright your light is, your light color, self-explanatory. All of these things I won't go into because they're really sort of for if you're really into lighting scenes and things like that. There's plenty of stuff on this. Is just to help people that don't know the difference. So next one, we'll move on to point light. So I've created these little cubes here, and what I'll do is I'll just rotate that so we're not casting any light in there. So the point light, as you can see here, if I click on the point light and disable it, it's all dark. If I enable it, it's lighting pretty much everything around this circle here. Now, this again has the same mobility, static, stationary, etc. Same intensity, same lights, color. What this does have different is like some things like attenuation radius. So what this does is I drag this in, you can see this little circle sphere thing around it, and this is basically saying how far is the light cast out. So I can put it just to there if I want it, so it's just touching the edges, or I can have it really out there. So again, this is, as I say, generally used, say, for lighting interiors perhaps, or if you have a street lamp that you want to cast a light from, or a candle or something like that, where it's chucking light around that perhaps wouldn't be so defined as a spotlight. So what we do is we'll move to the next one, which is spotlight. So here we've got my spotlight. Just turn that off. As you can see here, this is casting our light as we would expect from a spotlight that perhaps you use in music concerts, or if you have a fixed top street lamp, perhaps the light can't go up but it can come down. So again, we've got our same mobility things here. Same thing applies, the intensity, light color, attenuation, radius. So this is how far, you see it's slightly different here, how far the light's going to go. We've got our cone angle here, which is slightly different. So if I do that, it's bringing more of the circle that essentially the light's being cast in is being brought out more. And what we can do here is we can increase the inner cone angle, which essentially makes it more aggressive. So you can see there. So again, a much more defined click out there, much more defined edge of the light here. And again, I won't go into any of these. And then our rectangle light is our last one we're looking at. So we move over here. You can see this is slightly different. Now, this can be used, I've used it for essentially, those sort of roof lights you get, I forgot what they're called, where they're longer than tube lighting, that's it, tube lighting. I've used it for that. Some people, including myself, use it to, what you can do is you can use your directional light to cast sunlight in, and then what you can use is this rectangle light over the sort of window, for instance, and then you can use that to bounce more light into the scene without it using, say, for instance, a huge cost, but you can suddenly bring, say, for instance, say these corners were really dingy, for instance, or dark, you can cast more light into them from the window and things like that. These have similar settings: mobility, intensity, light, color, attenuation, radius, circle again. We've got the source width, so this is how long our rectangle is going to be, as you can see here. We've got the source height, that's how wide it's going to be. I'll just move down there for us. You can see there. Now your barn door angle is, I'll just try and get this in, is essentially how much light is, this bottom will open up like a hatch in a way. So when I do that, you can see here it's moving out. So it's how much light is cast. So you can make it very defined if you want, or you can have it casting at essentially a 90-degree angle here. And then you have the barn door length, so we can say, well, we want that to be there, but we want to make it so that the light is lower down. And as you can see here, we've got this sort of look here. And so yeah, this is a very quick rundown of the different types of lighting and potentially how you could use them inside of Unreal Engine. So yeah, cheers.